All right, on the left side of your screen, joining us on Delver is Roland, and on the right we have Yasu on 5-color beans. I believe it's 5-color. I labeled in the poll that this was Is It Delver? It's basically Is It Delver with the questing druid thing going on. So we're labeling it Temur Delver on the overlay, but it's basically Is It Delver, as most of you that has been keeping up with Legacy are aware of the build of these decks. Break says, I agree, Chris, with my core play group. Love Legacy, the mostly Commander guys. Very cool.
All right, I'll be on the play. Good luck. You too. Thanks. I will keep this. I'm gonna okay.
All right, Roland has kept. Yasu will mulligan. Break says, I mentioned a shop near me about Legacy. They had zero interest. Yeah, I mean, it also doesn't need to be at a shop, you know? Like, you can meet up at a beer garden or a library or whatever.
How was Japan? It was good. Great. Oh, man. So much fun. I was everywhere. Like, from the middle and, like, in Osaka area to Kyoto, Tokyo, more of the quieter areas.
All right, Yasu talking about his vacation, bragging about the whole thing.
He did everything. It's good. It was crazy. It's so cool. I needed a vacation from my vacation. Yeah.
All right, resolving mulligans now.
Trips is like, oh my god. Yeah, and I have like a week off to just like reset.
Players catching up a bit. Yasu had been away for a little while. All right, one card to the bottom for Yasu. We're ready to go.
Yep. Yep.
Turn 1 ponder for Roland. We're going. We're underway. Cantripping. Yeah, it's a ponder shuffle. We actually, Yasu wasn't there, but we were talking about Yasu in the shop one day. Yasu's been mostly playing Breakfast. Of those of you who've been watching the channel may have noticed. But in the past, Yasu's played a lot of Fair Blue Control, Grixis, Sultai, check pile stuff, Strifo pile, that sort of thing, if you're familiar. And for this particular event, trying out a Beans deck, I believe. I did not play against Yasu at this event. I don't know the full contents of the deck. We're going to find out together. That's a basic island.
I'll cast Ponder.
Aviator says beans are the best fruit I've heard. Magical. Aviator with a beautiful gifter badge. Wait, are beans considered fruit? No, right? They're legumes. They're, Why am I confused? Dr. Pepper arrived in the chat. Thank you for the happy affiliate anniversary messages in the chat. We did surpass our affiliate anniversary now, and I guess Twitch is celebrating. So Roland cantripping now. This is the gameplay, the play patterns that Magic players who play Legacy wanted back. Cantripping for the first few turns, just kind of waiting around. I'll shuffle. I'll fetch. This is what they wanted. What about the play pattern? Is control viable? All right, now another shuffle. Blue Delta gets correct. Finds a volcanic island. Legacy players have been, for the past 365 days, experiencing some ups and downs in the Legacy format. We had the... It sounds insane saying this now, but we had the Beanstalk as the main villain of the format. Then it was the Sticker Goblin. Then it was Grief. Then what about the Frog? Then the Mecha Spawn. Vexing Bobble was in the mix at some point over there. Now things have kind of settled a bit post-ban of the Mecha Spawn and the Troll. How are people feeling? How's everybody feeling about Legacy right now? Does anybody have thoughts, feelings they want to share with the class? Dragon's Rage Channeler on the board now for Roland. An absolutely fire new Secret Lair Dragon's Rage Channeler was previewed the other day. Did you see that one? Aviator says I want to be able to play it more. Tail says, as a Beans player, love the format. So many interesting decks. All right, good reviews coming in. Aspiring Spike, thank you for the raid. Welcome, everybody. There's a lot of you. We're just getting started. Tabletop Legacy. Hit follow if that's your jam. And if not, welcome. This is an event in New York City. Roland Chang, 2-time Eternal Weekend champion. Against one of our local friends, Yasu, Beans versus Temur. And thank you for the happy affiliate anniversary messages as well. We just surpassed our affiliate 5-year anniversary. I can't believe it.
Okay.
We've been doing this for too long, maybe. All right, so in Island Cycling of Lorien Revealed, our modern friends are aware of the Lord of the Rings land cyclers. We just had Troll of Khazad-dûm banned. When like people who strictly play Modern hear that Troll of Khazad-dûm was banned, what do they think? Like, do they think we're nuts?
Yep.
Event we're watching right now is from Monday Night Legacy. We get average 25 players at these events. This is not competitive REL or anything like that. It's just a FNM level event. But we do cover some competitive events on this channel. We have a YouTube channel, which you can also check out. We have a gigantic library of Legacy events from the FNM level all the way up to SEG. Up the Beanstalk. This card is hot right now in Legacy.
Go.
Delirious, Dragon's Rage Channeler gets in there. Fearside says it's an enabler, a payoff, and somehow also a land. Makes sense to me on the Troll. Crazy says no, but as a Legacy player, I think we are nuts. You know what? I kind of agree. From under the floorboard with an interesting comment. As someone who doesn't play much Legacy, I do wonder why the Reanimator decks don't just play Oliphant. So the troll looking for a swamp was relevant in a lot of situations to find mana for removal and stuff like that to kill, let's say, a Magus of the Moon or something. It being black at some points, pitching to Grief, pitching to Unmask was relevant. It just like worked really well, and then it was super evasive and couldn't bolt it, and the Troll was just really good. Yeah, it's just a much better creature than the Oliphant.
Brainstorm.
So we're deep into this game. Roland's been chipping away at the life total, just the Beanstalk on Yasu's side. As the game goes long, drawing cards off Beanstalk, starting to slam spells like Leyline Binding. Roland might fall behind. We're going to see how this goes. Roland drops... Yasu drops to 6. Confuse our names for a moment. Mr. Rainforest getting correct.
Take the 1 ring.
Our local events are no proxy. They're all sanctioned. They're all sanctioned.
Three.
Thank you again for the happy affiliate anniversary. If you're new around here, we just passed 5 years as an affiliate on Twitch. Approximately this month to last month. Leyline Binding.
Turn on the stack.
I'm gonna waste you, and then I'm gonna push the boy.
Fetch twice, right? Yeah.
So you go. 2.
All right, Roland has fetched twice here. A little bit of shortcutting happening.
Oh, I'm sorry. I go to.
Double Volk.
Force negation. It's a relative.
All right, Roland has announced a force of negation on Leyline Binding and a Surveil trigger.
7.
Island? Yeah, it's island. 3 cards in hand?
So you go.
3 cards. Force targeting the force of negation, beanstalk trigger. Pitching trigger.
Okay, Force of Will, pitching to Fairy Time Raveler, Beanstalk trigger here, trying to protect this Leyline Binding, which is still in the stack. Yasu is tapped out. Okay, Force pitching Murktide, another Surveil trigger.
So you already gave me for the other fetches? Yeah.
I'll also fetch.
Leaving it on top.
Beanstalk trigger from force? Yeah. Force of negation resolves Beanstalk trigger. From the force casting the big blade. Yeah. I'll take 3. Take 3, you're done. 2.
Oh,
I think Leyline Binding was supposed to get exiled there. I kind of maybe lost track, but Yasu in some trouble here. Down to 2 life, fight on the stack, and the Leyline Binding did not succeed. Yasu did draw 2 cards there. Mystic Sanctuary unfortunately enters tap, the Savannah looking a little sad. All right, found the swords, removed the Dragon's Range Chandler, still in bolt range though. That is Tamio, Inquisitive Student.
I will hit you for 9.
Yep.
I'll play a fetch. I'll go to 8.
Lightning Bolt could be pretty good here.
Island. I'm just gonna cast Pernicious Deed. And then I'll say go.
Yeah, I'm not sure. What was the timing on that swords? Should there be a white land tapped? That might be a goof. Might have totally forgot to pay for it.
Yeah, it's kind of a red.
I don't think we're gonna see Fork Bolt, but you never know. Here's Murktide though. This card is crazy. Have you seen this card?
What'd you? Your turn 1 was Fable. My hand was kind of risky too. It like needed to untap with the ability to play 1 mana spell.
Is Murktide still a top deck in Modern?
No. So when you went Fable, I'm like, okay, I can like hopefully mana denial him and then go from there.
Okay, Hedge Maze, Surveil. Okay, it's still a top deck.
Split deck.
I'll keep it.
That's why when I did that one, I was like, okay.
Left it on top. Interesting.
Leyline Binding?
Leyline Binding, not too bad. Trigger the Beans. Exile Murktide. Yasu's still at that scary low life total, but could be starting to stabilize, attacking with Tamio. Excuse me, making a clue.
Could have hit the Bowmaster, I would have had the blocker, so he could have getting that damage, and then I could
Flooded Strand gets correct here. Snide says, I like the format of your content, chill and attentive. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Wait, wasn't I just dead if you invoke the Fury?
Raise your hand if you're having fun.
I don't think.
The tokens don't have haste.
Do we have anyone watching that's bored right now?
I didn't. No, I tapped out. You could just invoke the Fury, copy them.
Some people are bored.
There you go.
That's swing.
No.
Thundering Fall, Surveil.
Well, no, I guess that maybe.
I wasn't even trying to think of killing all of these. Stay alive. Yeah, but she was small.
Break says, I'm working, and this is the perfect second monitor content. To put us on the first monitor, come on.
That's smart.
Second monitor.
On to.
Roland pondering, knows that Lightning Bolt could be a knockout punch here. Potentially. Ponder shuffle. Yasu has a clue. Yasu has Tamio, Beanstalk.
It's good.
There's a creature, Dragon's Rage Channeler.
Draw.
Yasu kind of both acknowledges that it resolves and acknowledges that it's good at the same time. Uh-oh. Up the Beanstalk, accidentally revealing an endurance, it looked like. Second Beanstalk, rolling out of cards in hand. Oh boy, Uro.
I cannot believe what I am seeing.
All right, a reaction here from Roland and maybe from a spectator. Roland is scooping to Uro. Yeah. I kind of agree.
Yeah, you were digging for your bull, I was digging for I had
Yasu points out, you were digging for Bolt, I was digging for Uro. Yasu won. Break says, I love beans. Aviator says, go beans.
That place is
I'll
awesome.
take the place. Yeah, oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, send down that one. I'll keep it.
Thank you, everybody that came in from the raid and slammed the follow button. Welcome to the family.
Sure.
Join our Discord community. Link just shared in the chat. We have one of the largest Magic the Gathering Discords at this point. Especially one dedicated to 1v1 Eternal and non-rotating play. Come hang out with us.
Fetch. Yep.
All right, Flooded Strand gets cracked here by Yasu. After a Mishra's Bauble, there's a new Mishra's Bauble coming out. Some people are excited. Some people prefer the OG art. Some people are worried about the frames. What about the OG?
On the island cycle.
Ponder.
Okay, I have Draw Vigor.
Lots of party hats getting jammed in the chat. Thank you, everybody.
6. Draw this Vigor.
Go.
Not gonna do it.
Turning
So go.
And step Brainstorm. It's happening.
Okay, this is either Hydro.
Force of Phil. Thank you for the resub with Prime. 49 months for Force of Phil. We have people in the chat jamming happy affiliate anniversaries. And Force of Phil revealing our age here. 49 months. Oh, my goodness.
One, yeah, I mean, because that just gave me a bunch of
We're an old Twitch channel.
straws. Yeah. Let's see.
But I figure
Washed up, maybe. I don't know.
top of the top of your deck has to be Hydro Blast, because even if you get a cantrip, you can't play them.
I play Force of Vigors.
Gim says Roland has inconsistent choices in his choices. Old border DRC instead of original, but original bauble instead of old border. Yeah, Roland. What's Roland's system here? Roland likes original printings in Japanese and foil. I think kind of sums it up. Has to check those 3 boxes for the most part.
Something unblockable. So I thought if you did have all masters,
Oh.
you know what I mean?
Okay.
I could have done the unblockable to get around it. But I had the dead gone anyway, so maybe I should.
Not going to see a Zendikar expedition land in one of Roland's decks. Roland is a Japanese foil printing gamer.
Yeah, having the second one was also.
Okay, good.
All right, there's Delver of Secrets. Looks like retro Japanese foil. Is that the one from Innistrad Remastered? I honestly don't know. I don't know.
I was honest on this one. I mean,
It must be, right? Was there another retro Delver at some point that I'm forgetting about? House says beautiful deck, even with a few inconsistencies. All right, people being very, very critical right now. Everybody relax. Aviator said, saw a guy at Eternal Weekend last year who white bordered his entire deck. You know, we have a local player that does that. We've showed it on stream a few times. It is interesting. The last time I saw our white bordering friend, I said they should take one of the cards from Ither Drift with the gold border and make it white. And they were like, you know what? That's a good idea.
Require either soul lands or like.
So stay tuned, everybody.
So.
you gotta get to it.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Do they play with lands in front? They do not. How many players at the event? So we averaged 20, 25 at this shop, at the other shop, 30, 35 maybe on a good night.
Xander's Lounge. Yep.
That is Xander's Lounge showcase version.
I'm gonna try the 4-color, but this seems good. Obviously, here would have been nice having like a basic planes and ley line binding, like that would have been good. But
All right, firing off some lightning bolts. Kind of help this Insect Liberation get across the finish line, maybe. Yasu down to 10 now. Taking some hits here in game 2.
yeah, I mean around here people are just.
No signs of up the beanstalk yet in this game. Yasu going to fetch as Insect Liberation attacks.
From the Misty.
We had the craziest games at X.
I have full domain.
Also with that,
Yeah, every game came down to like the very end.
Okay, Leyline Binding hits the stack. Yasu does have full domain. Delver of Secrets will be exiled.
Yeah. Cool. Nice.
aside from the city,
All right, so a key creature on Roland's side has now been eliminated. Time to figure out how to... Another bolt, okay. Okay, Roland fetches. Yasu has dropped down to 6. We've already used 3 bolts, so it's not like we're going to see 2 more, right?
Alternative force. Pitch, Murktide.
Yasu had the force ready to go for Murktide. It is countered. Force pitching Murktide. Okay, Roland has accepted. Murktide has been countered.
And step brainstorm. Yeah, you got it.
Okay, a brainstorm now for Yasu. CK says, how many tabernacles have played at those events? We occasionally see tabernacles on stream, that's for sure.
Untap.
It's the glue that holds Legacy together. We couldn't go on without it, right?
Edge Maze trigger. Yep.
Hedge Maze, Surveil, Uro into the graveyard. There's Uro.
That's somebody there.
Yeah, Roland's lightning bolts, as Lord points out, are altars.
Draw.
Roland has some altars in the deck. Savvy Magic players will be able to spot them. Tamiyo, once again.
Cards in it. 4.
If you haven't been paying close attention, that's a price of progress. Blue Elemental Blast, Pyroblast. Uh-oh, this is a fight.
Next one. Yeah.
This price of progress could be lethal.
Yeah. Shit.
All right, Roland takes game 2. Price of progress, triple bolt. Got there. Okay, kind of an unexpected quick ending. A thought I was in the middle of was, if you haven't been paying attention to Legacy recently, Tamiyo is a top creature in this format.
The clock stopped. Tom, do you mind?
All the fair blue decks are running that card. Or not all, but many of them.
Says on my phone.
Price of progress 2025, still a card to watch out for.
Fine. I'm going to.
Yasu now knows about it. Might be a little bit more careful with the land drops.
Looks like the screen just.
Does Temur Delver still play Nimble Mongoose? It does not. We don't see that card much at all. I don't think we've seen it on stream in forever.
Yeah, I pressed it. It's just. Fetch. Yep.
All right, we're going here. Flooded Strand cracked by Yasu. Yeah, these Temur bills, like what Roland is playing, are mostly Izzet Delver. There's Roland. Mostly Izzet Delver, but with Questing Druid. And occasionally you'll see a sideboard green card like Carpet of Flowers. Or something like that. But here's Carpet of Flowers on Yasu's side. That's going to be pretty good. Carpet of Flowers is a great way to jump ahead on mana.
Plus now you have Hexes running.
You're here often. Would you say like it's like a coin toss, it's empty or full? It's like it's weird. It's never like the right amount. It's either too crowded or too little. I know. Yeah. Go.
All right, Yasu making land drops. They are non-basics. A long way from Price of Progress, delivering a knockout punch again here in Game 3, but Yasu's going to have to be careful of that. Roland kept the Scalding Tarn on the table. Going to be trying to not allow Yasu to jump too far ahead on mana with Carpet of Flowers. The Wasteland on Roland's side, staying back for now. I don't think we're worried about Dark Depths or Urza's Saga or any of that, but Roland might go after a more important land, a land that produces white maybe, or a Xander's Lounge or something like that. Yasu plays Mystic Sanctuary tapped, so didn't really do anything too crazy with that. Scalding Tarn now getting cracked on end step. Volcanic Island.
They have the west side has a 120.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Because the back space is huge, and then they also never really let us use the front, so we never use the front space during the tournament. But I'm sure you have.
There it is, folks. Seek the Beast. The Temur part of the deck is this Questing Druid. I don't know how all of you feel. Questing Druid is one of my favorite cards from recent years. Kind of paying homage to a card from Plane Shift with a very similar ability. And legacy power level. I'm a big fan. Brainstorm and Days Were Exiled.
Yeah. And now they're doing pretty modern events.
Players were laughing. I don't know. This is a serious tournament.
It seems like they're also for whatever reason, pushing Pauper too, and
Kiviuk pointing out that Questing Druid is good in Standard. Yeah, is it good in Modern? Is it good in Pioneer? I don't know. I watched a bit of an RC. Are they called RCs? Oh, man, I sound silly. I don't even remember. But the Standard event over the weekend, Standard looking pretty cool.
it has like a healthy turnout for sure.
I think it's just like you're trying to play pauper and paper, and not like you're flush with options.
Yeah.
Much like Delver of Secrets from Under the Floorboard pointing out that they're slightly surprised as he's playing Legacy, talking about Questing Druid. Much like Delver of Secrets, there are cards that just kind of click in Legacy. They just fit perfectly. Even if they don't really see the same amount of play in the smaller formats.
Well, that's Tarkir ritual brings harm live.
Supporting cast makes them look really good in Legacy.
I'd rather just like play Cube or something else.
Yeah, Roland's deck has a bunch of altars. No proxies. No proxies in these events. Palm with a great question. Is Hull Breacher still relevant? It is still relevant, but it is a lower relevance card at this point, Hull Breacher.
This is so cool. I'm gonna play a second league.
Carpet
My
trigger
phone
for
like
two.
rock me turn one, like Lotus Recon. I'm like, okay. And I'll play a third. My computer's going out the window.
I don't think I've played against a Hull Breacher in months, but it's still out there.
Often, I think I told you before once.
I mean, that's very anecdotal. That's my personal experience. Uro hits the stack. This card caused a concession in game one. Roland might be better prepared for it post sideboard.
Both for and against you.
Prismatic Ending for 2, trying to hit this Questing Druid, which currently has 1 +1/+1 counter. Questing Druid over time could turn into a pretty big attacker. Going after it right away. Yeah, I think it's fair to say Hull Breacher is kind of niche in Legacy now. Force of Negation, pitching Murktide. Trying to stop Prismatic Ending on Questing Druid. That's going to resolve. Questing Druid has received its second +1/+1 counter.
Realistically, like, yeah, there is like a solid chance I make the top 16. Like, if it was a legacy event, like, yeah, I'd probably go on. Like, yeah, maybe there's a world that I'm solid enough, I go on a run. But I can't even realistically convince myself of that.
Yep.
Delver of Secrets gives Questing Druid its third +1/+1 counter. So far, Roland's still holding back that Wasteland. Attacking for 4.
Yep.
Is it going to hit the Savannah? Roland taking a look.
Great one, but like, you get to hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
I know.
I know I'm not this happy.
You get so much mana. Jesus.
I did the
Go ahead.
vintage event.
You could wasteland yourself. I'm thinking about it, but
Yasu makes a suggestion. You could Wasteland yourself. Roland worried about how much mana Yasu has access to right now. Well, I'm just keeping the Wasteland for now.
So many tournaments though, like the destination, I just don't care about. Like,
Savannah, Volk, Trop, missing black mana, but there isn't really, at least usually in these Beanstalk decks, there isn't really anything to do with black mana other than use it for domain. Yeah, Carpet can be kind of insane.
using the 2
But she's doing a summer gig, so she would
Leyline Binding.
deep into the heart of Oklahoma. Yeah.
Gizlo arrived in the chat jamming some bagels. Bagels a big part of 90s MTG lore.
that's what I was thinking.
Every once in a while I'll get asked about that. Why are there bagels on this channel?
OKC sucks.
Questing Druid in exile. Aquinas pointing out you can use black for Murderous Cut or cast Bowmasters. Yeah, in these particular builds, though, they tend to not have black spells. But there are Beanstalk decks that do use Murderous Cut and Bowmasters for sure. Gizla wondering, what are the lore-accurate 90s MTG bagels? I guess a New York bagel. A New York plain bagel.
That's about as far as it goes. Yeah,
Him and Jen are splitting the cash and they just run.
nah.
That's what he says. He's like, no, I don't want you to walk out.
Very important part of the 90s MTG lore. Make sure you study up, everybody.
Pay your entries. I'll just like take it half the
Shows up the new Willis. Whoa, Jen ran with the money? That's so weird.
I actually have like no kind of. Yeah, I'm just not connected to it that way.
I mean, it's an event, right? Like, she's running it. Like, how much input do you really need, right?
To make it a.
Murktide region is hitting the stack here.
A bunch of like.
Gizla pointing out the Montreal bagels are at least as important. You know what? To the 90s MTG lore, that's kind of true.
It's not gonna be like the tournaments here. Like somebody draws an extra card and the.
5/5 Murktide for Yasu.
Yeah, what do I do?
SF wondering if I have a favorite bagel spot in NYC. I can't say I do, honestly. And where I live now, there are no real, like, in walking distance, great bagel spots that I'm aware of. So I've kind of, like, I don't know. I've kind of fallen off, to be honest.
So it's like from the top down, I guess. Kind of.
Brainstorm here for Roland. Aquinas not aware of Montreal bagels. Montreal, the city. It's a whole thing.
I just didn't want to do I don't want to hire a judge. I don't want to do the catering or nothing. I want to
Brainstorming here is Roland. If you listen carefully, you can hear me complaining in the background. No, I'm just telling a story. Intake-tile aberration up against a 5/5 Murktide. Both players at high life totals. We're not going to see Roland, at least at this point in the game, lightning bolt for the win. Has a lot more damage to do.
Well, for Legacy, you like playing other Legacy events. It's not like, okay.
My hope though for the 4K though is that then after that, if that all goes.
Yeah, someone in the background doesn't like hiring judges. Yeah, I'm talking about hiring judges in the background, which I have never done. All right, Brazenbauer bounces Murktide. Roland puts a die on it for some reason. No sign of the On an Adventure token card. And Brazenbauer is on an adventure.
You're not paying tax, right? Anything.
Someone get Roland a Japanese On an Adventure card, please.
That was, yeah, they right to sell the cold.
So the bases and the
Yeah, there's a bit of a rivalry between New York and our neighbors to the north in Quebec as far as bagels.
Bar and restaurant and like there's stuff going.
And by a bit, I mean, like, nobody really cares, but some people talk about it.
Yep. And by Rust, yeah.
Leyline Binding resolves. Delver is gone. Roland can't seem to get the offense up and running in this game 3, which is, as the game goes long, could be a problem. No up the beanstalks on Yasu's side yet, though. Which is pretty relevant. 2 cards left in Yasu's hand. Yasu's number of lands in play, though. Remember Price of Progress, everybody. Keep an eye on that. Yasu fetching here. A non-basic land could be enough for... Uh-oh. Hedge Maze. Ooh, I'm a little worried about Yasu now. Basic land dumped into the yard. Don't need that.
Pass.
6 non-basic lands. Flash in Brazenbauer. It gets swords. Okay.
Still in a turn. Yep.
Yasu's deck has plenty of removal. Also, end of turn, Roland's going to get a Volk.
Okay. 2 cards. 2 cards.
Not sure. Did Roland announce a bolt here? Yes. Okay, so a lightning bolt to the face on end step. Roland untaps. Aquinas basically declaring New York has the best bagels.
Price of Progress.
Price of Progress hits the stack. Blue Elemental Blast. Pyroblast. That is the match. Roland gets it. Price of Progress, the MVP, I would say, of this match. GG's. Watch out with your basic lands, everybody. Roland's coming. GG's. Well played. Great match to start the stream. Round of applause. Clap emojis coming in. Maybe. Probably not. Let's set up another poll for the chat. Twitch chat decides which matches we will watch. Which match next? Your options will be Sultai versus Grixis. Red Stompy versus Golgari Depths. Dark Depths. Red Stompy versus Jeskai Control. Or Omnitel versus Jeskai Control. You have 1 minute. Get your votes in. Yeah, it was looking promising for Yasu, but Price of Progress popped Yasu in the end. The threat of Price of Progress is very real. You do have to respect it. And sometimes watch your land drops. Just a blue elemental blast to protect against it was not enough in the end. If Yasu had up the beanstalks on the battlefield in that game, Yasu probably wins. Logan hoping for combo decks, screaming for combo decks. Snack Bandit says, is Red Stompy still the joke name for the Red Prison deck? I don't know. Whatever. Palm says, regarding upcoming announcements, would you rather see an unbanning or a banning in Legacy? And if unbanning, what? So here in the Legacy world, I don't know what's going on in the other formats, but I'm kind of like, we need a break from talking about bans. But just for fun, a card that I'd like to see eventually come off the ban list would be Expressive Iteration. I'm a big fan. Red Stompy versus Black Green Depths up next. Storm contributed 1,200 channel points. Let's do it. Let's set this up. Diving in. Yeah, Expressive Iteration is banned from under the floorboard. Can't even believe it. All right, we have Bobby on the left with Dark Depths. Little bit of a brew. Mono Red Stompy on the right. That would be Ed. Yeah, the ban talk kind of needs a long cooldown for Legacy, I would say. Like, I just need, honestly, personally, I need a long break from bans. Ban talk. Quina says, cheering for Dark Depths. Oleg with a great question. How long have there been vile goblins on the stream? We have not had goblins in a while, sadly. One card in the bottom for Bobby. We're ready to go. Okay, Sundering Eruption imprinted on Chromox. Simian Spirit Guide exiled. Blood Moon. Ouch. Aggro.
Oh my god, we got the overwhelm.
Mountain Pass. Larson says ban banter. Exactly.
Broadside? Sure.
Broadside Bombardiers. This card is hot in Legacy still. It attacks.
Go ahead. I'll draw.
Now you can tell it. At least after bouncing a 5. Yeah. It was literally like one action.
Now, those of you that have been hanging out with us on stream recently are aware that Bobby's deck does have some nasty surprises. This deck is kind of scary. I played against Bobby last night. This deck will get you out of nowhere.
I'm at 16.
So we'll see how this plays out. This is not over, folks. Blood Moon won't be enough. Blood Moon does turn Dark Depths into a mountain, though. It enters with 0 ice counters on it, though. Keep that in mind. That's an Urborg, but it's a mountain. This Broadside Bombardiers is going to have to hurry up.
This is a fun game.
Yeah, this is.
I'll draw.
Bobby says this is a fun game. Took the subway home yesterday with Bobby as well, and we were talking about Maverick. Bobby is a green gamer. Bobby expressed that they've always hated islands and counterspells since they were a kid playing this game. Okay, Chromox with nothing imprinted, just going to sack it to the Bombardier. 4 damage gets in. Trying to speed up this clock. Ed is aware of the situation. The other Chromox does have something imprinted on it, though. They move the exiled card to the exile pile under the graveyard.
10.
You're at spoils?
You are at 10.
So there's only one way I can win, I feel like. Is it? Yeah. Anytime if I draw a chalice, I'm gonna lose. Might as well do this now. I'll crack it for black.
Okay, sneaking around the Blood Moon a little bit here. Getting black mana from the Lotus Petal. Kiviuk wondering what Bobby can cast to get rid of the moon. Get rid of it. There isn't. All right, here's Dark Ritual. There isn't a whole lot, but to work around it, there are some things.
I'll use 1 black and 2 mountains. I'll play a Sedgemoor Witch.
Sedgemoor Witch, 2 black floating. You see where I'm going, Chad?
I'll use 1 black. I'll play a Spoils of the Vault. Trigger.
Spoils of the Vault, trigger the Sedgemoor Witch. Oh boy. So Spoils of the Vault is a strange card. Chain of Smog, it sounds like has been named.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This should be chain or I'm dead.
That's a chain.
Nah, I'm dead.
All right, Bobby dies. It was too far down. That was close, though. See, Ed almost lost the game right now. Ed takes game 1. That was close.
Good luck.
Good luck.
So now Bobby is on the play. Again, I've played against Bobby on this deck a few times. Bobby being on the play, super scary. We saw the Dark Rituals. We saw the Chain of Smog combo. Blood Moon nearly wasn't enough. It disrupted quite a bit, though, as you saw.
That's kind of like I think if they were all the same thing, then there would be actual variety of options.
Go.
Thank you for the congratulations, people in the chat. We did surpass, I don't know. We passed our 5 years of being in a Twitch affiliate. Why can't I get the words out?
All right.
Fable of the Mirror Breaker.
I will draw.
By the way, I absolutely love all the messages in various languages. I just love that. Roland has resubbed. 60 months for Roland. Roland says, I've been waiting 5 years for this. 90s MTG effing rocks. Huge review and message from Roland. What's up, Roland? We just saw Roland playing on stream before.
I'll play a Sedgemoor Witch. Go.
Thank you, Roland. Roland, a big part of the starting of 90s MTG on Twitch. Roland just gifted 10 subs as well. Thank you, Roland. Pillar of our community for sure. Thank you. Roland number 3 on our all-time gifter leaderboard. 10 gift subs just came in. Thank you so much, Roland.
You cannot do a venture EDH
You have
because
three
they've done
hands.
it twice and targeted it once. And then
So 3 cards in Bobby's hand. Sedgemoor Witch is back on the battlefield. Fable of the Mirror Breaker has reached chapter 2, which is the discard draw chapter.
Sure. Take your time. I have a feeling it won't go to time anyway.
Yeah, I do. I'll discard this city.
Okay, discarding the City of Traders. Kiviak wondering, is this mono red Stompy list in the Discord? I don't think Ed posted this list in the Discord. I can't remember off the top of my head. Check the pins in the Discord if you're looking for relevant recent lists. But this list is pretty stock. You can look at mono red Stompy. Just Google Legacy mono red Stompy. This deck will pretty much be that. I don't think Ed has made any huge breakthroughs on this list. Maybe some sideboard cards are different. All right, so the Goblin Shaman has attacked. Sedgemoor Witch will not block. Ed gets a treasure. The Chromox does have a Simian Spirit Guide imprinted on it. So that's live. I have yet to see any of the Aether Drift Chromoxes out in the wild. Has anyone seen anybody jamming with those yet? I've never seen someone using them yet. Okay, here's Fury pitching Magus in the Moon. Ward trigger on the Sedgemoor. Pay 3 life. Ed is happy to.
Take 2 more. 3. Play a second.
Sure. And you get another goblin.
Guy. This will go to 1 and I'll pass 2.
Okay, first chapter, make another Goblin Shaman, pass the turn.
Play another swamp.
these cards that were very
So Bobby finding the basics here in game 2. Got the 2 basic swamps. Kind of need those in game 1. Another Sedgemoor Witch, 2 cards left in hand. We saw Ed go right, not looking for 2-for-1s or anything. Not looking. What am I saying? Accepting a 2-for-1 to eliminate the Sedgemoor Witch previously. Sedgemoor Witch is a combo card in this deck. A braid. Okay. Going right after Sedgemoor Witch again.
Really hurts.
Bobby says that really hurts.
Didn't expect that.
Don't get blinded by one card.
This is a hand that
And now I'll take the 3 life
Yeah.
for targeting.
Happy to pay the 3 life ward.
but it's doing this is the girl next door. She's not a bombshell, but like she's nice. You don't know what the
Bobby thinking about potentially protecting Sedgemoor Witch. Bobby does run Legolas's quick reflexes, for example.
Sure.
There's an Abrade on Sedgemoor Witch. It has resolve now. Sedgemoor Witch dies.
is a total package. You have to kind of
This goes to 2.
Yep.
This one will flip.
Alright.
Okay, Fable of the Mirror Breakers. Advance. One of them turns into Reflections of Kiki Jiki. Combat. Swinging with those Goblin Shamans, making 2 treasures now.
I'll get 2 treasures.
Sure.
Roland's predicting that Bobby is Bobby's not doing so hot. Mr. Cutley, thank you for the reso at Prime. 12 months. That's a big 1-year badge. Thank you. Thanks for sticking with us.
3, 4. Paraguay.
Alright.
It'll deal 3 damage. And then instant creature lands.
Paraguay coming in.
Yep. So I'm at 11. Whenever it ET
now.
So If we get to Ed's next turn and the Pyroglyph and Reflections of Kikijiki are still around, copying Pyroglyph is going to be game over.
Bad. I'll draw.
I as a Magic player, I got way better.
I played like 22 GA. I played limited.
Yeah. There was some issues.
But as I was saying before, Bobby's deck could just win out of nowhere. Had 2 Sedgemoor Witch defeated in this game. But don't count Bobby out like Roland did. This is not over.
Good eye for building type of thing. I do dislike MTGA drafts great for like having more mana.
Bobby has 11 life. We saw Spoils of the Vault earlier lose Bobby a game, but it nearly won the game too. It's you know, some black magic stuff happening here. What's up, Savior, in the chat? Thank you for happy affiliate anniversary message. Lots of party hats in the chat today. Festive atmosphere. Spoils of the Vault.
Brainstorm.
Naming Brainstorm. Okay. Well, Bobby says I'm dead. That is the match. Needed more mana. Had Chain of Smog in hand. Ed gets there. GG's. Well played. Our Discord server is up on your screen. Join our Discord community. If you're not in our Discord community, come hang out with us. Let's set up another poll for the chat to decide which match we will watch next. Your options will be Sultai versus Grixis, Miracles versus Cephalid Breakfast, Death and Taxes versus Dark Depths, Golgari Depths, or Omnitel versus Red Stompy. You have 1 minute. Get your votes in the chat. Rhea wishing us a happy affiliate anniversary. Thank you for that. We have a merch shop. We have a Patreon, which you can follow for free. Go check out our Patreon. You can hit follow on our Twitch channel. That's also free. Lots of cool posts in our Discord server from community members collecting Magic cards. 30 seconds on this poll. Twitch chat deciding which match you will watch first. Someone honking very loudly outside. Some altars coming in. Roland loves that lightning bolt emote. Roland loves that one. Almost out of time on the poll. Miracles versus Breakfast is up next. Akalith contributed 3,300 channel points. Thank you for that. Let's set this up. And I've been alerted that a hype train is incoming, by the way. Gift a sub, cheer some bits, or subscribe for free with Amazon Prime to get the hype train started. Less than a minute for that. Let me set up this next match. Is that coming through on the mic? Like someone is having a mental breakdown outside on just honking their horn for like a full minute straight. The hell is going on? Super distracting. All right, Miracles versus Breakfast. Diving in.
Card and like, okay, I'll mill the thing that I don't want there, draw a card. You know, so classic, like, Phil, I'm going to manipulate the top of the library, so. Right. Because there's so much more in the format.
Chelsea?
Yeah, I don't think it
Since when?
has.
What are you doing? Why are you confusing
anyone to play something like that? So you have like a
What are you trying to do?
Okay, Breakfast on the left, that would be Yosef. On the right, we have Miracles. That would be Force of Phil Blackman of Eternal Turtles. Lord, thank you for the bits.
Play at least some number of skull rack, like, if you don't have like also the raw cards to go up with skull rack, it's like gush, but gush.
2 cards on the bottom for Yosef on breakfast, it looks like, and we are ready to go.
Alright, ready?
Not sure who's on the play here. Okay, Yosef on the play. Fetch to Tundra. Getting us started.
Under.
Turn 1 ponder. It resolves. Is everyone watching aware at this point what cephalid breakfast is? Does anyone have any questions? Is anyone experiencing confusion right now?
If you're keeping all your ponders, you know? I don't have any options. I'll fetch.
All right, Force of Fill fetching now. Kivyuk with a great question. Why breakfast? So very early on in Magic's history, combo decks were named after breakfast foods and cereals. That's kind of the short explanation.
Enjoyable. I thought you were talking pre-modern. Oh, no.
Meticulous Archive, Surveil for Force of Fill.
Sure.
Why not lunch? Great question. I don't know. You'll need a time machine for that one, probably.
Oh, I see. Yeah. This one. I don't show you the other answer.
You're at 8 mana, right?
Okay.
You're at 10.
Raindrop.
Sinorna says that breakfast is a Thassa's Oracle deck and it wins the game by BSing. Something like that. Boros Cornflakes, yeah.
Well, if you want to.
Oh, I get to choose.
Okay, 16. Witch Enchanter. I have no idea what that is.
All right, just passing the turn. End of turn. Deduce. Make a clue, draw a card.
Fear it, but I'm not going to force a will to do this.
So you don't have. It's not uncommon.
It gives me so many cards for it.
It is counter.
Underground Sea. Counterbalance.
Force pitching to Neo.
Underground Sea Counterbalance. Okay, so if you've been watching our live streams over the last couple of weeks, months, Phil had not been running Underground Seas in this deck. So this is a new version of the Miracles deck, I guess. Very, very interesting.
Draw for turn? No.
Counterbalance on the stack. This card is a big part of this deck. Yeah, Roland says he's gone to the dark side. Force pitching Cephalid Illusionist on the counterbalance. Going after it. Yeah, Sirius saying I'm shocked to see Underground Sea from Phil. Yeah, you don't see Phil with many Underground Seas. Not these days. There were in the before times, pre-pandemic. I have memories of playing blue-black X control mirrors against Force of Phil. Creatures like Leovold and Tassiger, Baleful Strix, Diabolic Edict, Liliana's. Me and Phil used to go at it. Throw down. Deathrite Shamans. Some good memories. Here's to Fairy Time Raveler.
Call? Really? Yep.
A couple of OGs, yeah.
Terrifying thing I've ever heard.
Blue. Thoughtcast.
Just all bounce a clue, draw a card. Yep.
All right, bounce the clue, draw a card. Why not? Pass the turn. So Fairy Time Raveler will be a real pain in the butt for Phil. Can Phil beat it?
Start with Bracer. Yep.
There's like this 90s MTG chapter of my life where, you know, my reputation has become, as far as decks I play, goblins and dinosaurs and Maverick and all this stuff. In the before times, I was a blue gamer. I played blue control, Delver, almost strictly. Something happened. I don't I don't know what happened. I think I just became curious about other kinds of decks and never looked back. Here's Cephalid Illusionist.
Sure. So you don't get any
You can do your thingy and put deduce on top. Sure am. Okay. Not that predictable. Go ahead.
There it is.
Okay, Mystic Sanctuary. It sounds like Deduce is going back on top of the library.
doesn't have reach, right? Just strength.
I'm gonna cut that.
Are we live?
I'm gonna land cycle.
Okay, after Deduce goes back on top, Lorien Revealed will island cycle, so it's getting shuffled in.
Let's ask for draw.
Finds a Mystic Sanctuary. Mystic Sanctuary, a big part of this deck. Sinorna says, I don't believe you play decks without dinosaurs on a spaceship. Sinorna, I don't think Legacy players even know what that card is at this point.
Cast Butter.
I played a deck with dinosaurs on a spaceship at FNM this past week. Two of my opponents were like, what the hell is this card? This card is broken. And I won. They couldn't believe it.
Put 3 in my pool. 2 to Painter's Servant.
Yeah, Roland saying I'm on a spaceship.
You got
Terminus gets dumped to the graveyard by Predict. Miracle's not the best with Teferi on the battlefield. Brainstorm goes back on top of Phil's library. Another counterbalance. It's going to be helpful. Brainstorm on top of the deck, double counterbalance. The counterbalance is still triggered despite Teferi. Teferi goes up to Chapter 3. Chapter 3. 3 loyalty. Here's Nadu. Oh boy. The bird, everybody. It's frickin' bird.
Cards?
2 cards in Yosef's hand. Is Nadu okay in Legacy at this point? Does anybody feel strongly about this? Is it fine? Is it broken? How do we feel? Swords on Nadu. Force pitching Daze, protecting Nadu. Phil's going to fetch in response. Phil's going to put Lorien Revealed on top in response to Force, countering it. Why is Nomads and Corp being shown right now?
I feel like it's cut that. It's fine. It's fine.
I don't know where that Nomads came from.
Cast Bridge.
So counterbalance also allows Phil to fetch and put cards on top of the deck with counterbalance despite Teferi. Oh, it came from the Nadu trigger from Swords. That makes so much sense. Okay, so the Nomads and Core was added to the hand by Nadu. I just missed that. I was like, what? Where is this Nomads from? That makes sense. I totally missed it. My bad. Teferi takes up to Chapter 4. Why do I keep saying Chapter? Loyalty 4.
Sanctuary. Brainstorm on top.
Okay, Mystic Sanctuary puts Brainstorm on top. Ponder in response. Instant speed Ponder. Storm wants the frog back. Roland says still does things that really shouldn't happen in MTG, specifically playing multiple lands at instant speed, so ban it. Okay.
Good.
Lorien reveal now for Phil. The dog with a question: is Miracles favored in this matchup? That is a good question. I don't think so, but you know what? I'm not really sure. Feels pretty 50-50 to me. How does everybody else feel?
It's like it's either packed or empty. I don't really know what.
There wasn't like some turning that people were traveling to.
Actually, there was a vintage tournament over the weekend. Maybe I'll have to go play that.
Okay, Teferi up to 5.
Some overlap.
Yeah, the Dark Ritual playmat on Yosef's side is awesome. I agree. Both players with nice playmats.
As long as I haven't really played Legacy.
Cyanorna says, I am pretty 50-50.
Wait. Thing 3. Prismatic ending one of them.
Okay, a prismatic ending on a counterbalance. One of them has been eliminated. Urza's Saga, not bad. Bounces a counterbalance. Uh-oh.
How does that happen?
Okay, Nomads and Nadu combo assembled. Narcomoeba. Savannah comes in. Thassa's Oracle to hand. So Thassa's Oracle and Narcomoeba to hand. A bit awkward here. But Nadu and Nomads will continue for now. To Phil's turn, they'll be able to do their abilities again at instant speed at some point.
It's more witch. Nobody called that.
Well, no, I guess that
Nobody called that.
Deduce getting responded to with the abilities of Nomads and Core and Nadu. Tropical Island comes in. Another Nadu is found.
It's almost an instant kill.
Oh, that's actually Brain Surge, not Deduce. My mistake. Brain Surge on the stack. So now, Yosef casting a Brainstorm.
I'll keep it.
We know that a counterbalance was bounced, right?
Trigger.
It resolves.
So this is what you get for playing Chelsea. I told you many times, never play Chelsea. Horrible player. You never see me playing that, do you?
I'm at 19. I'll play the land.
Okay, now a Ponder for Phil. Ponder Shuffle. So, Nomads and Nadu have used up their abilities for this turn. Phil might be looking for a way to remove Nomads right now.
You'll have time to draw them.
Yosef with a lot of cards in hand.
You were digging for your goal.
4 Mystic Sanctuaries currently on the board on Phil's side. Phil has a lot of cards in hand too. The Teferi Time Raveler is really good right now. Redeploying Counterbalance. What number did Phil put back on top of the deck? Finds a Tundra. Swords on the Nomad.
Okay, oh, you are gonna play that? Yeah, I'm not forcing it. I'm not as crazy as I look.
Okay, so Nomads is gone.
It's a bummer. So what nuts and reasons?
Passing it back to Yosef now. Urza's Saga ticks up to 2. Teferi ticks up to 3. Nadu all alone on the battlefield at the moment. There's a backup Nadu in hand. Attacking with Nadu.
Want to see? Shuffle, and then this one resolves.
X0.
Vampire
Take two. Normal.
Yep. I'm at 16. So I have to reveal it in the next 15 cards.
Take two. 14.
Okay.
Another Nomads and Core resolves. Pretty good. Could potentially make a construct as well if we want a third creature. Double lands, finds another Nadu, Windswept Heath.
I'm dead.
I'll make a construct. Sure.
Okay, making a construct now. Gonna get 2 more Nadu activations. Or Nomads activations, I should say. Oh, wait, maybe not yet.
I figured with the Hex I can cast it now. I need it to be the Hex
Narcomoeba counter by a deduce on top of the library. Okay.
Keep this. And
So now I'll make a construct.
let me look at the exact wording for a second.
Alright, so making the construct then. 2 more triggers. Prismatic Ending, Swords. Prismatic Ending could be a way to get rid of that counterbalance. AG Potato has arrived in the chat, asking us to start the whole thing over. Yes, thank you again to Roland for the gift subs earlier.
That is true.
All right, discarded a copy of Dread Return. Thassa's Oracle was in hand at some point. So a deduce, making a clue. Brainstorm now for Phil. Nadu and Nomads and Core ready to go for this turn. Still haven't activated them this turn.
That's why whenever I play this deck, I bring water in deck because I either win or lose.
I'll be right back.
Just gonna read that because I haven't uploaded those. I'm sorry.
Name
Shuffles
8.
4 cards.
Name spirits and players. Podcast Simeon Spirit. Okay. Here we go.
Put it back to position. That's fine.
And blue, Emery.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, you got
1, 2, 3, 4.
Did you say Wednesday you get off?
I will go to tennis. Okay.
Name wizards.
So this doesn't get anything weird.
What's in play? What's not?
So this is just a 2.
These are in play.
This is a 2.
These just came into play. These are in my hand.
And I'm at 10.
These are 4. 5.
Oh, I forgot you never brought him up. Yeah, I mean, you can also attack the base. Or I guess you can attack your.
I will try to cast a Potter.
I'll second. Don't think there's anything to do about that. This goes up to 2.
Sorry about that, everybody. I had my internet service provider checking in, which I appreciate. Looks like Yosef took the game. I missed a little bit of it myself. I had to step away.
go.
But I guess in the legacy format that this would have.
There were some, maybe some cards missed that Phil played. Unfortunately, I didn't see it.
Catch me upon it. Sure.
All right, Phil starting off the game with a ponder. Storm with a great question. Will we ever find out what the Underground Sea is for? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, Agent Potato pointing out that Graveyard Hate could be pretty good against Phil. Phil trying to do the Mystic Sanctuary thing. I agree. Depends what your Graveyard Hate cards are. Like, would I bring in my 4 Leyline of the Voids against Phil? Probably not. But something like Soul Guide Lantern, Ghost Vacuum, something like that. Here's Cephalid Illusionist. It's possible Phil played Witness the Future. That is a card Phil has been playing.
I'm going to deduce.
Do you play Fluctuator on that? No need.
That's a deduce.
One damage each, and I'll shoot this. I'll draw.
Prismatic Ending going right after Cephalid Illusionist. Char Twin. Happy affiliate anniversary. Some party hats in the chat today.
Gotcha.
Mystic Sanctuary. Pass the turn from Phil. So Urza Saga. Now we'll tick up to Chapter 2. That's a clue on Phil's side. Tropical Island for Yosef. Can start making some constructs now. Top left of your screen, you see Audrey, you see Lord, our monthly gift sub and cheerleaders, holding us down.
Cycle Lorien.
Island Cycling Lorien revealed. Finds another Mystic Sanctuary. We were just talking about Mystic Sanctuary. What will Phil put him back on top this time? Tell you what, the MVP of that game 1, I think, was Teferi Time Raveler. The card is pretty good against Phil's game plan. Lorien revealed goes back on top. Here's Counterbalance.
Good.
Okay, so Counterbalance in play. 5 mana value card on top. Construct created. About to hit Chapter 3 of Urza Saga. It could potentially find what class? Shuko. Another construct will be created here by Urza Saga. Now we're going to search.
And then Bob will show me the flush round. Oh, that's sick. Exactly what I need.
Yosef seems unsure what to do here. Ghost Vacuum. Okay. Okay. Twitch chat asked for it. There's the Graveyard Hate.
I discarded a resource. 2, 3, swing 3.
Okay.
Yosef heard the chat. Somehow. Attacking with the construct. Another Urza Saga. Okay. Phil being presented with a different set of problems in this game too.
Yeah.
The mystery of the Underground Sea hasn't been solved yet, has it?
Second.
Okay, another Island Cycling Lorien revealed. Mystic Sanctuary once again. Prismatic Ending targeting Ghost Vacuum. It's going to exile Lorien revealed in response. Alright, the Ghost Vacuum is defeated. Now Mystic Sanctuary putting Ponder on top, so 1 mana value on top of the deck for counterbalance. Pass the turn back to Yosef, who's building a construct army here. Sometimes with these breakfast decks, the backup plan of just swinging with constructs is enough. Attack it for 4.
I know there was vintage yesterday.
Will the next Urza Saga look for Shuko? Maybe. Yeah, the Underground Sea could just be for Prismatic Ending. That's very possible.
Too little.
Okay, Ponder off the top. Gets cast immediately. Ponder shuffle.
You got to Union Square for Legacy.
Go ahead.
Brainstorm gets countered, revealing Prismatic Ending on top of the library with counterbalance. Another construct has been created. Ooh, different construct token. Urza Saga up to chapter 3. Does Phil still run Terminus? Yeah, we saw Terminus in game 1 get like surveilled into the graveyard or something. Terminus is still in the deck.
Sure. Yeah, there's a, I don't really know much, but there's a lot of like stuff happening. They're trying to
Shuko is found this time.
turn us through the end of the year.
Players are just looking for a 4th construct token here. Phil with a whole bunch of tokens apparently.
Just use this thing for now. That's fine. You want to cut? You're good.
Okay, using something else as a construct. So 4 constructs, one of them equipped with Shuko, it looks like. They're pretty big. They're each 5 power base.
5, so this is 6, 5, 5.
We don't have any more fanatic.
Hit the gut.
Okay, Source of Plowshares on the one that is equipped with Shuko. There are 4 constructs. One of them is brand new, so it didn't attack.
Yeah, supposedly it has like a healthy turn.
If the sword succeeds, it'll be 8 damage coming in.
Yeah. So I'm getting 6. Use this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 blocks when dealing with it.
Like I've watched some.
When this comes into play, target player's hand, you may choose mana from it. If you do, that player deals a chosen card into puts it into
Vendilion Click. Wow.
I can cycle this.
I'd rather just like play Q.
Guess I'll respond to that. It resolves. I'll target you.
That was like one
Target you with the trigger, I'm guessing. Bounce it back to your hand.
Okay, so Petty Theft on the click with its trigger on the stack. Its enters ability on the stack. Targeting Yosef. Force pitching counterbalance, countering Petty Theft. That will resolve. The hand is revealed. Nadu, Ponder, Nomads, Inkor, and Swords to Plowshares.
Oh, take Nutty. It goes to the graveyard or bottom?
You draw a card.
I will play.
I'll block the contract.
Block the constructs. Yeah, so this is gone. You take 3.
Wait, why did the construct die?
Whenever turn doodads. Go ahead. No cards in here?
Okay, Shuko is exiled by Prismatic Ending. Nope, Force of Negation. Okay, that is the match. Yeah, the contract should not have died in combat there, but Phil concedes. Yosef gets the match. GG's. Well played. Just something was missed there. Thank you, Nadu, in the chat for a happy affiliate anniversary message. We are going to set up another poll for the Twitch chat to decide which match we will watch next. Which match next? Your options will be Death and Taxes versus Dark Depths, or Temur Delver versus Red Stompy, or Grixis versus Sultai, or Sultai versus Sultai. 1 minute. Get your votes in. Is it true that Vendilion is the cousin of Brazen Bar? Or it could be. It could be. Who knows? Our Discord server is up on your screen. If you're watching this later, or if you're watching live, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. Great way to help us out. Just hit subscribe. Yeah, I believe we're talking about Sultai beans here. Any Rakshasa's Bargain fans watching? The food channel of the 90s MTG Discord. If you like food, check it out. Wow. That's actually some nice looking pizza right there. I might have to get pizza tonight. Lots of food stuff happening. Wow. Grixis versus Sultai is up next. Ale contributed 1,650 channel points. Let's do it. Let's set this up. Diving in.
Go to 18, and I'm going to try to play the Shallow. That's just one. Okay. And then I'll pass to you.
Sultai versus Grixis. Mystic Sanctuary pass the turn.
Go.
Scalding Tarn for Yasu. Sultai and Grixis. The blue-black gamers are ready for the whole thing. Misty Rainforest getting cracked here.
You want to just put it to the side and take a different card? Sure. Just count your side to make sure that you can draw another one.
Up the beanstalk. The beans gamers are ready.
You might have another one on this.
But the other one of this is okay.
Go through your deck.
Yasu thinking about reacting to Up the Beanstalk. This card is the real deal in Legacy. It resolves.
That was also put in.
We're not playing Nadu today, big boy. We're playing Grixis Control. That's crazy.
I will.
All right. Yasu is... I don't think the player has sat down knowing what the other was playing. Yasu is presenting Grixis Mana, and Gabe is excited for the whole thing. Polluted Delta gets played.
Just double check you have the right amount.
Hedge Maze to Surveil, aka Wraith, has arrived in the chat. First time catching them live. What's up, everyone? Chris, I love what you do for your scene. Thank you for being here. Thanks for jamming the fire emoji, inspired by fire design. And this is the real show, so welcome.
Yeah. No.
Some people watch this later on YouTube. I know it's crazy. These people are crazy.
And then I play with it
All right, Yasu just dropping a land and passing the turn. Real control mage stuff happening. Action-packed game so far. Up the beanstalk. Has the advantage bar a little bit over to Gabe's side, I would say. This card, as the game goes long. We've talked about this multiple times on stream recently. Card advantage. The Sultai deck, though, tends to be a little bit more tempo-y. What's tempo? Tempo-y than a true control deck. I think Yasu's deck leans a little bit more in that direction. Thoughtseize. All right, we might see the fight begin now.
And then I will pass to you.
Okay, Thoughtseize will resolve. Okay, triple lightning bolt, Brazenbauer. Uh-oh. Narset, Ponder, and is that Barrowgoyf in hand?
What are you gonna name?
Broadside Bombers. I know that.
So Gabe is resolving a Thoughtseize. Interesting. Narset could shut down the Beanstalk. Yeah, I like taking Narset. I agree with that choice.
Okay.
And I'll pass to you.
Yasu held it so far, though, which is somewhat interesting. Not say it's wrong, but maybe Yasu waiting for protection for Narset. Also, interestingly, holding back Ponder. Both players are aware the other could have Orcish Bowmaster. But Yasu has the 3 bolts.
You understand why I didn't do it? Yes, yeah. You played Scalding Charm, I'm like, that's a weird fetch to play in Nadu. Then you played Blue Delta, I'm like, okay, we're not playing Nadu. And then you didn't do anything turn 2, and I'm like, okay, we're not playing Delver, okay. And so we're playing Grixis Control. And I was like, okay, maybe we're playing Ant, and you're just waiting to go off. And then you didn't do anything for 5 turns. So.
Gabe can't figure out what is going on, but then Thoughtseize kind of revealed. We're doing some Grixis Control stuff. Oh, okay, now a Thoughtseize from Yasu, it looks like. Things are getting interesting.
I'll lose a life for 15.
That may actually be a Cling to Dust in Yasu's hand. It looked like a Barrowgoyf, but it's a Cling to Dust, I think. All right, now Gabe's hand gets revealed. Force, Fatal Push, Endurance, Murktide, Bowmaster, Murderous Cut, and the Sultai Saga from Tarkir?
It's an instant, not a sorcery. Yeah. But I activated it at sorcery speed because I might have grabbed something different depending on what I drew. 3 mana.
I'll play a I haven't played a land for turn.
No.
I'll play the Shadow Soul Smash and tap.
Actually, it's called Shadow Skull the Hammer.
Awaken the Honored Dead, I believe is the card.
I think the Murktide.
Okay, Murktide is selected. It's thrown in the trash. Awaken the Honored Dead, a card we have not yet seen on stream that I remember. Gabe has been testing it in Bug Beans. And I asked Gabe about it. He said the card's pretty damn good. That's what Gabe said. Scott says, not going to lie, super cool that hear what sounds like a kid in the background. Legacy needs young blood. Yes, one of our local players had some of their kids jamming with us at FNM. This is from FNM. And the kids knew what they were doing. They were playing, winning games. Here's Endurance.
Sorry. My turn? Check for 3.
Endurance attacking, so there's a creature on the board now. We're in the attacking with creatures part of this match. Scott says, my son is 14, playing Legacy with me for 4 years. That's awesome. Here's a Ponder for Yasu. And I think we're going to see that Orcish Bowmaster get flashed in. Both players playing with their hands partially revealed at this point after double thought seizes. Now a Bowmaster for Yasu. Bowmaster, your Bowmaster. Legacy, the best format, right, everybody?
Force pitch this days.
Force pitching days.
The flip side of this one.
No, it doesn't get the trigger if it's naming Fable of the Mirror Breaker. It doesn't get the activate. Wait, no, that's
Okay, bolt on Gabe's Bowmaster. Roland says, sat next to one of the kids and he played a City of Traders, calling it the most expensive mountain under a Blood Moon. Next level kid. Yeah. All right, Roland is cheering them on.
that I will name.
You can also hold it if you want.
Yep.
Whatever you
Well,
choose.
there's nothing else I would play, so it's just a.
You want to do the backside then?
Reflection of Unity.
It's alright. I know
I
what
still
you
have
mean.
to
Don't worry.
name. I still have to name it though. So yeah, pass.
Go to me. Untap, I'll take 2 for you.
Oh, and you can't tap it because it's my fault. So it's just going to be draining you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'll draw.
I played against the dad at this event and asked how the kids got into it, basically, into Legacy. Into Magic, actually. And they were, as a family, into board games and D&D and stuff like that. And the dad was a Magic player, basically as a kid, but hadn't played in a really long time. And the kids found the game basically on their own. And the dad came back to the game, and now we have dad and kids jamming Legacy with us at FNM. This game is great, everybody. If you give it... Everybody should give Magic the Gathering a chance.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the trip.
At the end of the day, it's not about the meta and the spreadsheets and the data and the whole thing. It's about the gathering, everybody. Come on. Wake up.
And you have
I know how I would do it, but
All right, passing the turn back to Yasu. Baleful Strix off the top. I am a big Baleful Strix fan, folks.
it's not the easiest to pilot.
Yep.
It's fun.
Pass turn.
All right, draw a card, pass the turn. Endurance. Might have to pause the attacks here, maybe. Are we going to see Awaken?
You can sacrifice
Not
this,
right
this,
now.
or that.
Yep, I'm not gonna do it right now. I can.
Okay, Awaken the Honored Dead.
At the end of your turn.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm gonna hold off for now. I am gonna activate the 1 ring.
Ah, you could already just.
4.
Draw 3.
Bowmaster. Getting flashed in. Awaken the Honored Dead destroyed the non-land permanent Baleful Strix. AJ Potato with a question. What if one day you find out your kid is a Cephalid breakfast player? Roland says exile the kid.
Let's pick up Mystic Sanctuary.
Days picking up Mystic Sanctuary. That's pretty mean. All right, Yasu's going to fetch. Waken the Honored Dead. Next chapter will be Mill 3. Then the final chapter, the third chapter, is discard a card. When you do, return a creature or a land card from your graveyard to your hand. Interesting new card from Tarkir Dragonstorm.
Down 13.
Fatal Push on the Bowmaster. The Bowmaster pinged Endurance. That's been pointed out. Might try to finish it off with Lightning Bolt.
Might be getting moon stomping.
Orc Army blocks Orc Army. Lightning Bolt takes out Endurance. The board has been cleared of creatures now.
Play land. Trigger.
Mystic Sanctuary gets replayed. Brainstorm to the top of the deck.
Yes, it is.
Cling to Dust. All right. Cling to Dust actually exiles the Brainstorm. Good place here. I forgot about the Cling to Dust myself. Yasu did not. Card was sitting right in front.
Oh wait, that's two floating.
Draw card.
Yep.
Yeah, Cling to Dust is a known favorite of these Grixis pile gamers, that's for sure.
My life total is not very stable.
This guy will flip.
His activated ability cannot be activated.
2 cards in hand.
Yep.
2 cards in game's hand, a little bit low. Yasu's life total also a little bit low.
Reanimate targeting your Murktide.
Wait, what? Reanimate targeting Murktide?
I cannot do it. I knew that die.
Yeah, do not do that.
I was thinking.
Then I'll play
Targeting.
Magus in the middle.
I'll target your Endurance.
Okay, targeting Endurance instead. Yasu nearly blew the game trying to reanimate a Murktide. This is FNM. Gabe was like, I don't think you want to do that.
On your hand?
Yep.
I agree. Endurance. There was an Endurance in hand. Yasu says, I can't believe it.
I need to get rid of that Magus. I think I'm just dead. I think I'm just dead.
Wow.
I'd have to.
That Endurance is pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, that was all.
Okay, I'll target myself.
Sure.
Pass this one?
All right, target myself. At least Yasu doesn't lose the life, I guess. But Endurance now will be back, ready to attack. Mill 3 cards with Awaken the Honored Dead. And response Brainstorm. Okay.
We got the protection for the range.
I'll combine these 2. Trigger them out.
It's kind of cracked.
It is kind of cracked, isn't it? Got a combat. 3.
Yasu says it's pretty cracked. Petty Theft on Endurance gets bounced. Prison Borrower goes on an adventure.
Bargain.
Rakshasa's Bargain, folks.
Look at trigger.
Yeah, beans. Yep. Yep.
Bargain.
Yep.
I'm just dead. Yeah, I can't
Take
win.
these 2.
Go to the next one.
Rakshasa's Bargain looking like the real deal for Legacy. This card is good.
Metal coating with the card or using the other one?
Yeah, there is a Cling to Dust in Yasu's graveyard, which could escape.
Modes are going to be mill myself, return a land, and drain on a whole priority, waste, target, bulk.
Full red mana?
Sure.
Okay, floating red mana, holding priority with Witherbloom Command to waste a Volk. Witherbloom Command is trying to drain and mill 3, return a land.
It's a red floating. Yes, I'll target you.
Cling to Dust in response. Exiling the Wasteland. Logan says, I want to watch the kid play. Do I have any VODs? So we don't have any kids recorded on 90s MTG, and I don't think for the short term that'll be a thing we'll be doing.
Mill 3. Lots of up the beanstalk. Underground seat. Take underground seat.
Okay, Lightning Bolt in Yasu's hand. Awaken the Honored Dead is at Chapter 2, about to reach Chapter 3, the final chapter.
Does it do anything? It's
when you could discard a card to get back a creature.
Oh, I see.
I'm not going to use it.
Okay, so just for this.
Yeah.
Okay, Awaken the Honored Dead's Chapter 3 will be ignored this time. Goes to the graveyard. Ponder. Yasu's still with the third of those 3 Lightning Bolts in hand. We saw Endurance get bounced at one point. It's still in Gabe's hand, I believe.
What about search?
This is Waterlogged Teachings, I believe it's called. Yeah, Waterlogged Teachings.
Bowmaster resolves.
Bowmaster is selected. It will be cast.
Before my Ponder, I'm going to Murderous Cut.
Murderous Cut. Okay.
Take another one off.
Beanstalk trigger. This game has been a battle.
Take another one off Bowmaster. You have a 2/2.
Needless to say, this has been back and forth. So Murderous Cut now, and a drawing off the beans for Gabe. Orcish Bowmaster goes back to the graveyard. Waterlogged Teachings trick with Bowmaster was really cool. There's another Rakshasa's Bargain. And Gabe is starting to get way ahead on cards, I think. Yeah, Yasu's been playing a lot of breakfast in recently. But I've seen Yasu play so much Grixis, Strifo Pile, Check Pile, Fair Blue Legacy over the years. This is probably the kind of deck I've seen Yasu play the most in my life. I've also played against Yasu in other formats over the years too. Yasu likes some blue-black control.
It's not on his Oh, okay. So yeah, we'll never see it on that.
Be on the play.
Another Thoughtseize. Yasu drops down to 4 if this resolves. I guess. Thank you, Snake Oil Salesman. The hand revealed. Polluted Delta, Murderous Cut, Rakshasa's Bargain, and Endurance. Kind of neat to have Endurance is selected. Kind of neat to have 2 spells from the 2 different kind of chapters of Magic's history with Tarkir. Murderous Cut from the first and Rakshasa's Bargain from the second. Magic players super hype about Tarkir, which is kind of nice to happen right before Final Fantasy, which so far is looking like the all-time best-selling set, is what I'm hearing. We're living through some good times of Magic. Here's Murktide Regent. Every once in a while, especially, you know, in these eternal format spaces, I hear about, like, yeah, remember the golden age of Magic when, like, you know, original Zendikar came out or something? They just come out with this stuff. Like, the golden age is now. It's just not even debatable. All right, Murktide Regent is in. Brazen Borrower is in. Yasu's at 2 life.
Go.
Wake up, everybody.
Bargain. Trigger.
Rakshasa's Bargain, trigger the beans. Eliminating this Brazen Borrower could be game.
-3, -1. -3, -1 mil. And the trading start.
Witherbloom Command gets the game. Game 1 goes to Gabe.
Playing the Hermit Special.
Among any number.
Playing my stuff.
I'm just not.
What a battle that game 1 was. That was a long game 1. There's getting ready for game 2. Yasu keeps 7. Ponder. Gabe keeps 7 as well. Yeah, Rakshasa's Bargain looking really good in this format, folks. Tamio. We didn't see Tamio in game 1, did we? I don't think that card appeared in game 1. I think that's the first time we've seen someone take a breath mint during the live stream. Write this down, everybody.
Sure. Go.
Yeah, it looks like the life counters weren't updated from the Misty Rainforest getting fetched. Let's see if that gets corrected. Bowmaster. Belfast Strix gets hit. Attack with Tamio. Make a clue. The digital life counters and the apps, great for the stream, bad for actually tracking the life.
I can't activate these.
For competitive events, I always recommend pen and pad.
Oh, can't activate that.
This is FNM, though. Here's a Thoughtseize. Get to see the hand. Force, Ponder, Brainstorm, Endurance, Endurance. Okay. It's a pretty annoying hand.
It's not great.
It's not great, but it's annoying. Maybe Force of Will get taken here? Brainstorm also could flip Tamio, which could be a problem. But you could just Ponder, then sack a clue as well. No third land? Yeah, I don't know what the plan is.
And I'm gonna play the Disruptive. The Silence, Constant. And I'll pass to you.
Brainstorm is selected, goes to the trash. Okay.
Yeah, he did it on purpose. Go to combat.
All right, yes, he's selecting Brainstorm so that Gabe can just keep the hand revealed is the joke here. So attacking, making another clue with Tamio. Now have 2 clues. The other token is an Orc Army. Here's the Ponder. Second land and crack a clue could flip Tamio. As those of you that have been playing some Legacy, watching some Legacy recently are aware, a flipped Tamio into the Inquisitive Scholar could be game-winning. You do have to deal with Tamio. Before the ultimate, that is.
Good.
All right, did not find the land, I guess.
Menace? Well, it should have named Spawns in Exile.
Yeah, she's probably pretty happy about that. What did Gabe find, though? What was good enough to leave on top?
That was a tough spot.
Completely forgot about the medics. If I had named that, I could.
Okay, Blue to Delta gets cracked here for Yasu. Yeah, if Gabe was determined to find that land, we might have seen a shuffle, but apparently the top 3 cards of the deck were good enough to leave it as it is. Gabe still has that Force of Will, which Gabe will have, which Yasu will have to respect.
Of course, that has to happen. If I do
Culligan's Command, shocking Bowmaster returning, Baleful Strix, Red Blast on the Force pitching Force. All right, that succeeds. Baleful Strix comes back. Culligan's Command, everybody.
I'm not gonna 4-for-1 myself with the endurance as well, so I will.
You have Witherbloom Command, I have Culligan's Command. Says Yasu, I guess. Tekken with Tamio, Tekken with the Orc Army. 3 clues now, I believe. All right, gonna crack one now.
Play land.
All right, found the 3rd land. Passing it back to Yasu. Would love to get rid of this Tamio now. Baleful Strix will be a good blocker. Brainstorm. Ellie says the only K command I will respect. I hate Eldrazi. Kozlik's command is the other K command floating around Legacy these days. Some people are not a fan of it.
Any card silence in the main? Okay, yeah, so you're. I think you did it right.
Yep.
It definitely looks right.
Okay, Polluted Delta gets cracked now. Aviator pointing out Kozlik's command is objectively better, though. In current Legacy, probably.
So even if you hit mine,
I do like me a K command. Barrogoyf. This card is great. The Endurances could mess with Barrogoyf's power toughness. Potentially. Something to watch out for. Here's Hedge Maze, Surveil. The double green now is available. Surveil, everybody.
Trigger. I'll leave on top. I'll drop.
Alec in the ink. Thank you for the resub. 22 months. What's up, Alec? This is Barrogoyf. Sometimes I forget this card is not in Modern, so Modern players might not know this one. Barrogoyf from MH3 Commander. Life from the Loam. Okay. It's a nasty one.
Oh yeah, throwing those really?
Oh. Yeah, nothing in my deck does anything.
How many cards do you
It's very funny because I can beast out.
Murderous Cut. Okay. Barrogoyf defeated. That was an important card to get off the table. Thank you, Imatus.
Good. I have 2 endurances.
What a festive atmosphere in the chat today. Lots of party hats coming in. Baleful Strix, draw a card.
Yep.
Go.
Next to Tamio is the Orc Army, and then I think there are now... I think there are 4 clues now?
It is what it is. It's not your fault. Comment.
Yeah. Trigger.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Trigger.
Okay, so Tamio attacked, made a clue. Gonna sack 2 clues here, and then protect it from the Belfast by flipping it into a Planeswalker. Orc Army will get through.
Plus up to 4.
I'd rather just have like 3.
Plus up to 4. The dies are a little hard to see. Sorry about that, everybody. Tamio is up to 4 loyalty. And I believe Gabe now has 2 clues. And a 1/1 Orc Army.
What's in hand? 6, I think. Yeah, 6.
6 cards in Gabe's hand.
Ponder.
Top says used to play Legacy when Divining Top was meta. It looks wild now.
Still the same 2 endurances. Murktide, a Barrowglaive, Misty.
Double Endurance, Murktide, Barrowglaive. Mr. Rainforest up the Beanstalk. Pretty good hand.
Pick your poison.
SMC says I miss this kind of Legacy. I know you Legacy players love this fair blue soup grindy stuff. My YouTube analytics don't lie. I know how you people operate. I know what you click on. I know everything. I know what you're thinking right now.
Up the beanstalk.
Up the Beanstalk is selected, respecting the beans. It's discarded.
Edict Planeswalker.
Shieldred's Edict will get rid of Tamio.
Tamio still triggers. I will.
It's true. Legacy players do love their brainstorms.
That means you're ready for this Murktide. But then you're ready for. Oh, you can just block it. I'll dredge
Dredging Loam here. Wasteland, Polluted Delta, and I think there was a Veil of Summer dumped. Orc Army still a 1/1, just attacks. Chipping away.
Oh, you know what's on.
OS says I like just about everything in Legacy that isn't Chalice of the Void. That card is BS. Okay. Very interesting.
It's in my sideboard. I didn't bring it in because I
Chancellor of the NX
I just assumed you like Embrace Journey, but you're
Endurance. Gonna target Yasu here. So now the Elementals are starting to get put onto the battlefield. They are potentially going to be problematic attackers. Thinking about slamming Murktide or Barrowglaive? It'll be Barrowglaive. Barrowglaive is a nasty one.
Sure. Shuffle those good cards back in.
Surveil.
Yep.
Surveil, Undercity Sewers. Yeah, maybe not looking good for Grixis right now. We'll see.
I do have a hard time.
This game might be slipping away from Yasu. Twitch chat knows it. No removal in Gabe's hand right now. The Belfast plays awesome defense. Don't forget. But the life total is pretty low.
Pass the turn.
So you kept on top of the surveil.
Oh, shit. That was a
You can surveil it if you want. Surveil it if you want.
I drew it in my hand. It's fine.
It doesn't hurt. Keep it.
So the Surveil was missed, apparently. Yasu kind of messed up. Aviator saying Grixis is the bad guy.
Mr. Rainforest. Okay. I just got a cool one.
Nice.
Mr. Rainforest gets correct here. Make sure you have all the cards memorized, everybody. All the versions. Mystic Sanctuary.
Murderous Cut.
Murderous Cut going back to the top of the deck. That is the match. Yeah, the special guest fetches. GG's. Gabe gets it. Well played. Excellent match. That was a pleasure to watch. Wow. Wow. Amazing. Let's set up another poll for the chat to decide which match we will watch next. Your options will be Jeskai Control versus Mystic Forge. Omnitel versus Jeskai Control. Death and Taxes versus Dark Depths. Or Temur Delver versus Red Stompy. You have 1 minute. Get your votes in. Ghost, thank you for the resub with Prime 2 months. Appreciate it. Thank you, Lindy, for the happy affiliate anniversary. We just passed our 5-year affiliate anniversary here on Twitch. Thank you, everybody that's been sticking with us. Affiliate allows us to have paid memberships here on Twitch. And many of you, as you see the badges in the chat, have been with us as members for quite a while. And I really do appreciate all the love. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you are a member of our Discord server, which is up on your screen now. Almost out of time on this poll. Close vote. Close vote. Almost out of time. All right. AJ Potato contributed 3,600 channel points. We're headed over to Jeskai versus Mystic Forge. Let's set this up. Diving in.
Looks good enough to me.
I'll keep it.
All right, on the left side of your screen, we have Audrey on Jeskai. On the right side, we have Jacob on Mystic Forge. This is game 1. Let me update the score. There's a manifold key off in a darker waste. Okay, island cycling for Volcanic Island. Jacob, thank you for the bits. Hopefully no cheating from this Mystic Forge guy this time. Yeah, Jacob, make sure Jacob doesn't cheat. Jacob rocking the Pro Tour Aether Drift playmat. We had some kind of silly error on stream recently with Jacob. Yeah, mistakes happen. Flooded Strand, pass the turn.
Yeah, it's fine. You're a 20.
Assault Monolith, okay.
26. Yeah, it sounds fun.
Force pitching this town ain't big enough. Jacob is now, sorry, Audrey has now played the Volcanic Island. that we cycled for before. Passing the turn. Audrey knows that this Mystic Forge deck has some combo stuff going on. And we have to kind of be careful here. That's an Urza's Tower.
I'm gonna pass.
Pass.
Glaring Fleshraker is something to watch out for. AKA, thank you for the sub. And Hype Train just started, folks. We are in a Hype Train now.
I'm gonna respond.
Response to the enter trigger?
Yeah.
So the enter trigger is
This town ain't big enough was pitched to Force before. Audrey and some other local players have been working on blue piles for Legacy with This Town Ain't Big Enough and Storm Chaser's talent. So we can expect to see Storm Chaser's talent appear in this match, potentially. Here's Stock Up. In response, Kozilek's command.
Try to draw and make you silent. Or
With the trigger on the stack, cast Cunning Wish.
Yep.
Oh, it's instant. Here you
Thank you, Suryak. Happy affiliate anniversary messages coming in.
get an Everpull and a Traxa and you swing for exactly 22.
Yeah,
You have to think, yeah,
but this is still on the stack.
yeah, that trigger is still on the stack, but I don't think I can relieve it with that. They both fly, I sacrifice.
All right, Stock Up resolved. Audrey found stuff with it. Maybe stocked up. Jacob's probably going to test Audrey's hand. With all right, going right away with Mystic Forge. All right, Audrey has Force pitching Stock Up. Okay.
Then you just retract that Everpull, extra turn. I'm like, yeah, that's game.
Alright, we'll go next game.
That was fast.
Steel Cutter, check, pass.
One card?
One card. Let's cut him
And another hot card in Legacy right now. Corey Steel Cutter just hit the table. Jacob now tapping a lot of mana. Coveted Jewel. Coveted Jewel is such a strange card. It's from one of the commander sets. Props, if you remember off the top of your head which one it first appeared in. But it sees some Legacy play. Plays another Coveted Jewel. When this artifact enters, draw 3 cards. Oh my goodness. I have heard it's a banger in Vintage. I don't really follow Vintage at all, but Coveted Jewel apparently sees some play in Vintage. So 1 blue, 1 colorless floating. There's a Manifold Key. Now just 1 blue floating.
Mox Opal.
That is Mox Opal. The 1 ring, everybody. It resolves. With these keys, things could get a little crazy. So it gets a burden counter. All the keys are tapped right now.
Sure.
All right, there's Storm Chaser's talent. Make it hotter. Swords. Trigger the Corey Steel Cutter.
Beginning combat. Oh, auto art.
Ah, that's so mean.
Okay, bouncing the monk.
It's like a run off.
Draw two. Draw two. Just get a draw.
All right, that is the game. Jacob takes game 1. 4 keys in play. Pretty gross.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, Audrey has taken a mulligan.
It's always
I gotta beat this guy.
yeah. So it stops fetch lands
And force the will.
and force of will.
Like
Unless
still
you
ancient
already
shit.
cast force of will. Yeah.
So Jacob has kept 7. Jacob with the Batman sleeves as usual. You know, we're getting a Marvel set before a DC set. How does everybody feel about that? Does anybody care?
Why it wouldn't, but
Island Pass. Are people watching DC or Marvel people? There's Glaring Fleshraker.
I will respond. Respond to the
well,
trigger.
it's a cast trigger.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Right.
It's a cast trigger. Force of vigor.
Force trigger. I will respond to force trigger.
Grim Monolith into Glaring Fleshraker. Null Rod, that's a good one.
Targets.
Okay.
OS Dan says, I think they're both cash grabs and I don't like them. They just want our money, right, chat? They just want our money. Yeah.
One for
Yep.
Flesh Trigger, trigger from Trigger. So you'll take 2 and I'll make it a summon.
Take one.
I'll have the Flesh Trigger entering also.
We're victims.
Yeah, I don't have enough permanents to sack.
Feel victimized.
I think I lose to the Emrakul. I don't have enough permanents.
I also have the cutting wish.
Use the 2.
You could have done either.
Trigger, take 4.
These Grim Monoliths coming in with double Fleshrakers, hitting pretty hard. Yeah, the Null Rod won't help you with the Fleshraker.
That force of vigor had resolved.
There's a brainstorm for Audrey, looking for ways to get these freaking Fleshrakers off the board, I guess.
Force of will off the brainstorm.
Audrey down to 8. The double Fleshrakers could end the game quickly.
Trigger 2.
Manifold Key, double Fleshraker trigger.
Yep. Yeah. I just put my plow.
That is the match. Fleshraker, everybody. Null Rod, not good enough. Mystic Forge, watch out for it. GG's. GG's. Wow. Wow. Same place, same time tomorrow. Be here for our usual Legacy Wednesday stream. Stick around now for a raid. Don't go anywhere. Stick around for a raid. You'll get channel points. You'll use them on one of our next streams. Make sure you're in the Discord. Keep track of our streaming schedule right in there. I'll see everybody soon. Peace out. See you tomorrow.